this trip was to get to the gate for the radio mast star section. A zigzag up until I got to the 4x4 track. Here I had to negotiate a bit differently with the Zontes and the smooth rear tyre. The track then carried straight on up to the point where I almost went off the cliff. I rested there, turned around, and then the leisurely trip down. I struggled to get out on the eastern side on each and every trip. This time I landed on some cycle track, I think it could be jogging, and after a few loops, little wooden bridges, I finally got out and had a nice breakfast. Phase 1 was now done. The peak is called Hans Kop. It is actually the same elevation as Johannesburg. The turnoff into the plantation is right opposite the entrance to the dam. But boy oh boy, did we had wind today. The railway line looks as if it's still in use because it's fairly shiny, but I'm not so sure. I then mounted the helmet cam and set off on the nice little gravel tracks. As this is forestry area, everything is basically square blocks. So you could ride, get to a T-junction, decide which way to go, and just meander further. The little Zontes coped quite well with a 17-inch front wheel on the rocky sections. At this stage it weren't too bad yet, but I know the 4x4 track is there. After some fires a few years ago, I don't think this forestry area is still planted because there's only these little shoots that grew. I stopped to admire the scenery. I must say, the southeaster was still howling. This was the first bit of technical section that I did. It's not the 4x4 track yet, but at least it gave me some practice. And then the 4x4 section, oh, I'm so used to the 800, wrong gear, wrong line, smooth tires. That was not so nice. I was actually too lazy to back up another 3 or 4 to 5 meters and tried for 4 minutes to negotiate this little incline. To no avail. There was just no traction. So eventually I pushed back a little bit further and went on my merry way. Okay, let's try again. Here we go. Right gear, nice traction, and we're off. Oh fuss, booty, oh fuss. With this little front wheel, I must say it was quite bumpy because it just jumps over the rocks, it doesn't roll over them. Another interesting thing, I always veer to the right. This was no exception. So it was stop, realign, and off I went again. On the earlier sections of the road, I noticed fresh motorcycle tracks, and yep, here they come. Oh, but they ride plastics. What an easy way to go. The technical part of the 4x4 is actually done, and I started to relax. Boy, that was close. A rock pushed the front wheel to the right, and I just managed to stop on the edge. It was actually quite nice because the bike is so light. I just had to wiggle it a bit so it won't go further forward, put it in gear so that I can get off, and basically just dragged it back. Don't look now, Ma. There's nothing below me. At this point, I decided I'm not going to try this 4x4 trail further. Didn't know that just the edge of the picture, I should have been on the tar. So I turned around. I did the 4x4 track now in the opposite direction, and it was actually not that bad. I got to the very last little technical section. The bike stalled once or twice as I'm still getting used to this no torque, low rev position engine. Back on nice and flowing roads, the speed picked up and I enjoyed the scenery. Ah, the tar. So there should be a locked gate somewhere up ahead. I wonder if it's open or not. This gate is always locked, and the smaller bikes and bicycles can actually be carried around the post, but I'm not going to try that today. I relaxed, enjoyed the scenery, remounted the camera and headed back down on my way to Krabbo. More nice flowing roads, nothing hectic, a little bit of sand, a little bit of water, but nothing really serious. The GPS did again decide to take me on different routes, and I must still check my settings. There's still something wrong. Because if I don't memorize the routes, I will definitely not end up where I want to be. This time I picked a road that was not in use for a very long time, and at one point I almost decided to turn around, but I could see the road far ahead and decided to carry on. I'm not so sure what's happening here because that's a drill. So whether they're drilling in the road for water, I'm not sure. But there's little boards to guide you around the machine. The last stretch down to Krabbo, I must say, somewhere here I always miss the turnoff. I get lost, I get blocked, I get chased away. Here I landed on the, I think it's a cycling track or a running track, little wooden bridges, beautiful area, but definitely not for bikes. After looping around a few times, I decided to track something else. Oops, a locked gate. Eventually I got out and had my breakfast at the roadhouse. As the bike was now about 200 kilometers, 180 probably kilometers from its 1,000 kilometer mark, I decided to do a bit of a detour and see whether I can reach the 1,000 mark. Another gate. I love them. I didn't do much videoing on these roads because they're my playground. I've been on them so many times. I think I've been videoing them more than any other road. As I stopped for the 1,000 kilometer video shoot, I noticed, damn oh Chinaman, the oil light is on. I checked oil, no problem. I checked for leaks, no leaks. Oil light will not go off. I was actually so disgusted that I just took a picture, decided to just ride him. I don't care. As I started the bike, I remembered, I did read the manual. 1,000 kilometer is the 1,000 kilometer service, and you are warned by switching on, or rather by automatically switching on the oil light